Hello everybody, so this is my article review. The article name is Misinformation, Information Literacy and Democracy, Paths for Pedagogy to Foster Informed Citizenship. So this article was a literature review with suggestions for further research. So this article discussed information as power, as well as the intersection of politics, information literacy, and critical pedagogy. The article talked about how citizens must be well informed for a well-functioning democracy. So if the article talked about how if we really want government for and by the people, we should know what we're doing. We should be well informed and be able to think critically about the information that we are presented with. Okay. The article also discussed misinformation versus lack of information. So what we have today, according to the article, is an overload of information versus a lack of information. So there's so much information at our fingertips nowadays that a lot of people simply are overwhelmed and don't know what to believe anymore. So the goal here is to foster those critical thinking skills so that people are able to sort out the information and they don't become as overwhelmed by it, because the article discusses that those in authority can abuse their power if we as citizens aren't well informed. They can take advantage of us and again abuse their power. So when we think of the intersection of politics, information literacy, and critical pedagogy, like I said earlier, citizens must critically think about the information they see to fully participate in a democracy. So we must know what's going on and be well informed about events and situations around us. But with so much information, especially on social media, there's a lot of misinformation out there, and so again, a lot of us don't know what to believe anymore. And so when we have those critical thinking skills, that information literacy, we are able to separate reliable versus unreliable information. The article also discussed how authority should be challenged in healthy ways without dismissing expert opinions and factual data. So we should be able to question mainstream media and government authorities, but at the same time, some minority groups seek to take control by using social media to spread misinformation quickly. And so if we are not careful enough, and if we don't know how to analyze or don't care to analyze the information presented to us, then we will be more susceptible to believing misinformations and half-truths without looking at the whole picture of the situation or what the reality is. So the authors also discuss how teachers and librarians must go beyond teaching the mechanics of finding reliable information. They did talk about how many times librarians just are seen as somebody to go to find information, but they can do more than that. They can help us with critical thinking skills and finding reliable information and teasing apart that misinformation from the reality of the situation. So our information searches and verification go beyond the classroom. So okay, so implications for like further research, like the article talked about. We need to focus reading instruction. So it's more than finding information, and we should stress the importance of analysis and synthesis. So once students are able to decode and comprehend on a basic level, we should start talking about teaching students how to analyze and synthesize information to figure out what information makes sense and what information we should question, at least, if not outright throw out. And let's just say that informed citizens keep democracies alive. So when students know how to think, they don't fall for misinformation as easily. So critical thinking skills should be emphasized early in age-appropriate and developmentally appropriate ways. And that implies greater collaboration with librarians, school and public, for information analysis and synthesis instead of just finding information. So librarians can help us with that, sort out information and help us think about that information, and not just help us look for something on the internet or finding books. It also strengthens numbers. So if all of us are informed about the situation, then minority groups who seek to take power in unhealthy ways will have a harder time doing that when they know most of us won't be easily controlled. So again, informed citizens are less likely to fall for misinformation. So that's why teaching students how to read well is so important in this information age. So it's more than just, reading words and being able to say what the article or book was talking about. It's being able to do something with it, take it further for collective action, or at least sharing that information with others. So my takeaways and further steps: I want to learn more about how to collaborate with librarians to help teach and foster critical thinking skills in and out of the classroom. As you can see, I'm very, very passionate about those critical thinking skills, and they should start early. So again, information is power. Knowing and understanding the full story about the world around us is important. Of course, we can't know absolutely everything, but when we fully understand the nuances of a variety of situations, we are better able to know when somebody is trying to twist the story to fit their narrative. And those with critical thinking skills are less easily manipulated by those in authority and can organize to stand up for their rights. So again, fostering those critical thinking skills is so important to maintaining a democracy. where all of us have a say and voices aren't silenced, and people aren't manipulated by those in authority, or manipulated by those in authority, or silenced into submission out of fear. So I really enjoyed reading this article, and it stressed the importance of how we can take several different disciplines to help foster this critical thinking skills in this information age. So thank you for listening.